right, guys, this is Kelly from Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course, and I'm having some computer problems, guys, so I'm doing this video on my camera, so please forgive me. Today, we're going to be talking about having a exit strategy, okay, and how to cash out big in the mobile home business, okay? And when we're talking about cashing out big, the best way to cash out big is to wholesale, okay? Wholesaling a mobile home is the best way to cash out big because guess what, guys? You're not out of any money, okay? You're connecting a buyer and a seller. You're connecting them together. And guys, the difference between what the buyer and the seller want from the mobile home, what the seller's wanting for their mobile home, and what the buyer is willing to buy the mobile home for, guys, you're going to collect the difference, okay? A lot of people are going to ask me, hey, Kelly, why do they need you then? Why does the seller and the buyer need you? They need me because guess what? I'm the one who knows the seller and I'm the one who knows the buyer. They don't know each other, okay? And remember, guys, you need to be very transparent when you're wholesaling these mobile homes and let them know, let the buyer and the seller know, I'm not doing this for free. And let the seller know, I'm not getting any money from you. I am getting money from the end buyer. No money is coming from you. I'm getting money from the end buyer, okay? So you're going to introduce yourself to the seller. The seller is going to tell you about their mobile home. You're going to try to talk them down. You talk them down. You get them under contract. You turn around and find the end buyer. You get the end buyer under contract. You present that mobile home. And the difference between what the seller is trying to sell a mobile home for and what the buyer is trying to buy the mobile home for, guys, that goes into your pocket, okay? So that's the beautiful thing about wholesaling, and that's the best way to make big profits in the mobile home business, okay? This market is not saturated like being in real estate, okay? So those of you who are in the real estate business, I am not knocking your game, but you know the market is saturated. We have a bunch of realtors out there. Nothing like the mobile home business. If I were to ask you how many mobile home investors do you know, you would probably say 0, okay? But if I was to ask you how many realtors do you know, you would probably say a lot. You're probably related to a bunch of realtors, okay? So the realtor market, in my opinion, is saturated, but there's still money to be made in the real estate game as well, okay? But we're talking about real estate today, okay? So before you even spend your own hard-earned money in finding a mobile home, what you need to do is figure out what your exit strategy is going to be. Okay, are you trying to sell or finance the mobile home out? Okay, that's very important. Okay, are you trying to like get somebody to buy your mobile home and they make payments? Okay, a lot of investors, believe it or not, guys, even though they don't want to rent their properties out, they sell or finance their properties out, hoping that the end buyer defaults. Okay, because they've been already gotten a deposit from them. They've already gotten years and years of payments, and then that person turns around and defaults, okay? And what happens is they're going to get that mobile home back. They're going to rinse and repeat, okay? Put a little paint on the mobile home and then turn around and get a deposit from somebody else, get years and years of payments, and then that person defaults again. So it's a rinse and repeat with some investors when it comes to seller financing. Now, some seller finance deals, what happens is the person just goes ahead and they makes their payments, no problem, and then the mobile home is theirs. You sign over the title, and that's a done deal. So that's another way that you can win big because you're going to get months and months of payments. You're going to also get a deposit, and then you're going to be collecting that principal and interest also on that particular mobile home. And another way to get big profits in the mobile home business is to rent your mobile home out. Now, you can either rent it out to a regular person or you can rent it out to Section 8. Me and my family prefer to rent out to Section 8 because that's guaranteed money. If this pandemic was to hit again, we don't have to worry about it because Section 8 and the government, that is going to be guaranteed money. Even though Section 8, they often get a bad rap, okay, about how they leave your mobile home and this, that, and the other. But the thing is, guys, if a Section 8 tenant damages your home more than $2,000, you report it to Section 8, guess what's going to happen? They are going to have to pay you back. And when I say they, I'm not talking about Section 8. I am talking about the tenant is going to have to pay you back. Because what happens when you get a Section 8 tenant, what happens is Section 8 comes out and they assess the property. They make sure that your property is up to par in order for the Section 8 tenant to live there. So they already got pictures. They've already taken notes on how the mobile home looked before the tenant got there. And if you're saying the tenant damaged the property, you got pictures and all this good stuff and you can prove it. And then you have an itemized sheet from a contractor saying, hey, this, and this is wrong and it's going to cost more than $2,000, then the tenant is going to have to pay you back. If they don't, they could lose their voucher. And we like doing it this way instead of getting a regular person and dealing with Judge Judy, spending all this extra money in order to get something repaired, and then the judge might not even go in your favor. This is the reason why we like to, deal with Section 8 instead of dealing with a regular person. Now, there's another way you could get big returns if you're investing in mobile homes, is you can fix and flip a mobile home. Now, when you're doing this particular method, you got to be very careful with fixing and flipping, because if you don't know what you're doing, guys, you could be out of months and months of lot rent, months and months of water bill, months and months of light bill, because you're waiting for a contractor or a handyman to come and finish the job. Or maybe you picked the wrong contractor or the wrong handyman to finish the job, and so you're out of money. Okay, so you got to be very careful. If you yourself are not handy, you got to be very careful with that. Now, another method that people use, instead of fixing and flipping, what they do, they buy the mobile home very low, and then they turn around and they sell it very high to somebody else. Okay, barely even sweeping it out. Sometimes, guys, people just leave trash all over the mobile home just like they found it. Okay, and then they turn around and they sell it higher. So this method, what happens is they find a seller that is very motivated. They talk them down, and then they turn around and find an end buyer. The seller is motivated. They want to get out of this particular situation that they're in. They're willing to take any dollar amount, and you offer them something very low, and then you turn around and ask for higher to the end buyer. Okay, hopefully the end buyer is going to pay you cash. And most of the times, those types of mobile homes are like handyman specials, but it just depends. It just depends. So in each and every method, guys, there's a scenario, there's an exit strategy on how you can get out of each and every scenario. If you get into buying a mobile home without thinking about an exit strategy, guys, that's a very dangerous game. You can still get out of it. It might be a little harder doing it that way. Why would you want to do it that way? I don't know. But there's still ways of getting out of it. Okay. So, guys, this is Kelly from Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. If you want to learn about mobile home investing, you can contact me at 800-974-5580.